Picture a filter, not one you've seen before, a living one, working inside you right now. Not a coffee filter, not a water filter. Something far more extraordinary. About the size of a football, 3 pounds of tissue that never stops working. 3 pounds? Just 3. And yet it does more than almost any other organ you have. Over 500 chemical jobs, simultaneously, every single hour of every day. Neutralizing toxins, building proteins, regulating sugar, making bile, balancing hormones. It never sends you a signal when it's struggling. No ache, no alarm, nothing. It works quietly in the dark, no warning lights, no distress call, just silence. Your knee hurts when something's wrong. Your tooth throbs. Your liver? Nothing. The most common way this organ fails isn't alcohol. It's sitting in your medicine cabinet. It's in your gym bag. Completely ordinary. Completely unquestioned. It's in your kid's backpack. Tiny. Seemingly harmless. Completely normalized. It's sold in bulk at Costco. Stacked high? Treated like it couldn't possibly hurt anyone. It hides in cold medicines under different names. In fonts you'd need a magnifying glass to read. It's in your sleep aid, glowing on the pillow while you drift off, completely unaware. Most people who've taken it today have no idea what it does when the dose goes wrong. It's labeled safe, but behind that badge, something smaller is quietly paying the price. Your doctor recommends it. Your trust is total. And mostly, that trust is warranted. It won't irritate your stomach the way ibuprofen can. That part is genuinely true. The window where it's safe is real, but it is much narrower than almost anyone realizes. The gap between therapeutic and toxic is shockingly, almost absurdly, small. You swallow a 500 milligram tablet. It begins its journey. Let's follow it. It moves through your stomach, into your intestine, into your blood, and straight to the liver. 90% gets routed safely. Tagged, neutralized, flushed out cleanly. No problem. 2 pathways handle most of it. Sulfation and glucuronidation. Clean, efficient, safe. The molecule gets tagged, made water-soluble, and exits through your kidneys. Perfect. But that remaining 10%? That's where the story quietly changes. That 10% goes through CYP2E1, an enzyme system with a much darker output. CYP2E1 doesn't produce a harmless byproduct. It produces NAPQI, something cellular and dangerous. NAPQI, N-acetyl-P-benzoquinone imine, a reactive molecule produced by your own metabolism. NAPQI binds aggressively to liver cell proteins. It doesn't ask for permission. It strikes mitochondria directly, cracking them, compromising the cell's energy system entirely. Inside the cell, oxidative stress begins. Silent sparks of damage no one can see or feel. Hepatocytes start dying, one by one, quietly. In a grid, some cells simply stop. But under normal conditions, glutathione catches it, a chemical sponge built exactly for this. Too much NAPQI, and the sponge overflows, saturated, dripping, with more arriving and nowhere to go. With no glutathione left, NAPQI attacks freely. The cell begins to crack and darken. You feel nothing. You're sitting on the couch. Inside, the damage is already underway. The damage happens in silence. Symptoms don't appear until 24 to 72 hours later. By the time the yellowing starts, by the time you feel it, significant damage is already done. 56,000 emergency room visits every year in the United States. From this, 56,000 ER visits, 26,000 hospitalizations, roughly 500 deaths every single year. The FDA's maximum is 4,000 milligrams per day. That marker is closer to the edge than it looks. For some people, drinkers, those fasting certain genetic variants, the danger zone starts much lower, 325 milligrams, 500, 650. The numbers seem small until you start stacking them. NyQuil and Dayquil both carry 325 milligrams. The number is there, just barely. Theraflu packs 650 milligrams per dose, 1 packet. That number is larger than most people expect. Percocet, Vicodin, both contain acetaminophen, listed in the small print most people never read. A PAP, buried at line 4 of 6, below the branding, below everything that actually sells. Someone just treating their cold is holding 4 products and stacking the doses without knowing. 325 plus 650 plus 500 plus 325. That's already 1,800 milligrams, and the day isn't over. You think, just treating my cold. The counter in the background climbs toward the danger zone. The liver does not know you didn't mean it. The mechanism has no category for accidental. NAPQI doesn't care about your intention. It responds to concentration, only concentration. Alcohol induces CYP2E1, the exact enzyme that makes NAPQI, spinning it faster, producing more. At the same time, alcohol depletes glutathione. More poison produced, less protection remaining. The label says, ask a doctor if you drink more than 3 beverages a day. Most people skip that line. Most people breeze right past the warning. The fine print doesn't register. It never does. A regular drinker carries a far larger NAPQI zone inside the same body. A very different risk. Used correctly. No alcohol, no fasting, doses counted. It works. It is genuinely effective. One of the most studied analgesics in history. Decades of research. Real, documented safety. For the right person, in the right situation, it's the correct choice. Confident, clean, safe. For someone whose stomach can't handle ibuprofen, acetaminophen is the right call. The problem isn't the molecule. It's the invisible network of products all feeding into one source. The active ingredient should be the first thing you see, not buried beneath the branding. A PAP is in there, but you need a magnifying glass to find it. That is a design failure. A PAP equals acetaminophen. Same molecule, different label. Now you know. Count everything. Before you take anything, add up every source of acetaminophen in your day. Alcohol, fasting, medication overlap. Each one shifts your threshold lower than the general guidance assumes. The general guideline and your personal threshold are not the same number. That gap is dangerous. 4 hours minimum between doses. That's not a suggestion. It's based on your liver's actual timeline. Your liver needs time to clear each dose before the next one arrives. That's what the interval protects. You feel completely fine, but inside, a question mark sits beside a clock you can't see. If you think you took too much, even with 0 symptoms, treat it as urgent. Now, the damage runs ahead of the pain. A long, silent gap separates the cause from the consequence. N-acetylcysteine is the antidote, and it works dramatically better the earlier you use it. NAC pours back in, reinflating the depleted glutathione sponge, biochemical rescue, if you're fast enough. Hours matter here in a way they don't with most kinds of poisoning. The clock is real. The liver can regenerate. Left side damaged, right side already regrowing. Remarkable organ. Chronic liver disease moves like a snail. Acute NAPQI toxicity moves like an arrow. Fulminant hepatic failure. Complete loss of function, and it can develop within days. Days, not years. A calendar flipping fast. That's how quickly this kind of failure can build. Once it's established, there is very little room for correction. The door closes fast. A knife cuts instantly. You know, a pill gives nothing, no signal, no feedback at all. Touch a hot burner and you pull back immediately. Your body tells you. This is different. The box says gentle on stomach in large red letters. The liver fades quietly in the background. The warning and the consequence are separated by 48 hours. The feedback loop is completely broken. Someone designed that packaging. Somewhere a liver icon ended up in the trash. You don't have to be afraid of it. You have to be literate about it. That's the whole point. Read the label like a contract, every clause. Before you sign, you read the whole thing. A PAP equals acetaminophen, 1 molecule, 2 names. Now you can't unsee it. Combination formula means something else is in here, and it might already be in what you took this morning. Extra strength means a higher dose per tablet. Fewer tablets to reach your daily limit. Not more safety. You start counting on your fingers. Products with hidden acetaminophen. You run out of fingers. 500 functions. 3 pounds. No days off. This organ deserves your attention. No days off, no complaints. 24 hours a day, your liver is working for you. Stand beside it for a moment. This small, tireless organ working quietly on your behalf. 1 pill, held deliberately, label read. That's what informed looks like. Count everything. Know your variables, time your doses, act urgently. 4 rules. That's it. Check every label before it goes in the basket. Methodical. Calm. Informed. Alcohol and acetaminophen. Not together. That warning is not a suggestion. An empty plate depletes glutathione. Fasting and acetaminophen is a combination with real consequences. Your genetics shape how much NAPQI you produce. The same dose hits differently in different bodies. The opioid name is prominent. The APAP is small print. Both are in there. Both count. Ask. Point at the label. Ask the pharmacist. That question could matter more than you know. 50 million Americans take acetaminophen every week. Most of them don't know what NAPQI is. Even the doctors who know it best hold it with complexity. It is not simple. Neither is the liver. The commercial is cheerful. The disclaimer runs fast, small, and completely invisible at the bottom. Over the counter, in quotation marks, because the phrase has come to mean too safe to worry about. This is what the label should look like. Acetaminophen at the top. Bold, unmissable. First, this is what the label actually looks like. Active ingredient at line 3. Below the branding. Right now, your liver is quietly glowing. Blood flowing, functions running. It's doing its job. What are you asking it to process? That question is worth sitting with for a moment. How much, and too much, are separated by a threshold that is closer than most people know. You're not afraid. You're informed. You read the label. That changes everything. The filter inside you never stops. 500 functions, no days off. The least it deserves is your attention.